The spring of 1923 was a heady time for Black America in general, and for Harlem specifically. Fueled by the Great Migration, the Harlem Renaissance, an intellectual, social, and artistic explosion, was in full effect. Garveyism had taken hold, and the new Negro movement had emboldened the Harlem citizenry to dream big and act in brash and bold strokes. It was against that background that Robert William Justice, the owner of the Lenox Avenue-based New York Business Academy, hatched the notion of creating a Negro Atlantic City for an emerging affluent community within Harlem and beyond. Somehow, he had learned of the availability of a 300-acre parcel of real estate on Croton Point that was owned by Inglis Uppersue of the Cadillac Corporation. A May New York Age article opined that, quote, "This new community, located at Croton Point on the Hudson, by virtue of its beauty and proposed facilities, will cater to the finer sense and appreciation of our best people. A wonderful site created to meet the congested conditions of Harlem and other communities, to welcome the respectable and decent newcomers from the South, to furnish them with a home, playgrounds, amusements, and a beach without any intolerable restrictions, without molestation or a thought of prejudice from any other group." By the spring of that year, a preliminary agreement between Justice's Croton Point Development Corporation and Mr. Uppersue had been hammered out, with both parties agreeing to a $500,000 payment in exchange for the 300-acre tract. The county, in search of parkland, had determined that Croton Point was far too costly and had directed its attention to the less expensive Kruger's area. Seeing that the coast was clear, Justice's syndicate of wealthy Harlem business owners set about the business of parceling out the land and selling options to purchase these attractive waterside lots. Over the course of the ensuing months, an aggressive campaign was in place extolling the virtues of the location, bringing caravans of Harlemites to Croton shores to fish, swim, and party. Often, the Harlem Cavalcade would stop en route at Madam Walker's place in Irvington to get a look at how the Harlem Hudson Valley hoi polloi were living. On arrival at scenic Croton Point, potential buyers were wined and dined at the Underhill Mansion and surrounding areas and given a window of insight into the good life that was a mere hour's train ride from the Big Apple. The spirit of hope and optimism that had taken hold with the Harlem community was unfortunately not shared by many in the surrounding areas. Considerable and unrelenting opposition to the ideas of the Negro Syndicate was coming from locals in the neighboring communities. At the 11th hour near the end of August, with the deal approaching an almost certain closure, the county relented to pressure from locals and exercised eminent domain, snatching the deal out of the grasp of the Harlem group. With that singular act of Jim Crow social engineering, the die was cast. Bucolic, Upper Westchester would escape the ominous scourge posed by the Negro Syndicate from Harlem that Robert Justice had brought.